I want to speak to the elders, and it's because I don't understand something. I realize, and perhaps I might not be in the right position to say this, but I'm currently 22 years old, and the way life is unfolding onto myself is rather exciting and also at the same time a little bit shocking. And it's because from my understanding of history and from my understanding of how our previous generations have lived basically on this earth, and the way we have constructed society in such a way that our lifestyle is basically fundamentally shaped in such a way which is best served for its society, if it makes sense. And why is society nowadays shaped in such a way where a lot of young people are lost, right? And I know I've currently currently I'm basically explaining all these sentences in such a complicated way, but in a simplistic manner, I just believe that the way society is compiled right now is in a way which I don't really understand, because something doesn't make sense. And that's why I want to speak to the elders, because I want you guys to obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but I just feel like that the way society has manifested in itself nowadays is not the way it was back then, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm not too sure what factors have caused it to turn out such ways. In my previous video, I did talk about the neurochemistry of dopamine that is released through all the social media and all the scrolling, and perhaps all the unhealthy habits that we Gen Z have, and also perhaps the abundance of and the access of all the things that we Gen Z can literally have, which was not given, if you think about it, let's say 50 to 100 years ago. Now we have total accessibility to the best foods, total accessibility to pornography, to education, to basically anything you can think of in just an instant. And it was basically the internet and all the social media dimensions that has allowed us to receive that access in an instant. But I don't know, I feel like that is the result, or the underlying result, which many people don't really understand, how it has kind of deeply shaped our society. And the way people think nowadays is just absolutely different, and it's something which I don't quite understand. And I understand the idea and the concept and the principle of a progressive society, but are we progressing in the right directions in essence? Because if we take a look at history, we are supposed to take the crumbs of history and therefore progress in a way where we kind of learn from our history, if that makes sense. And we have done that for quite some time, and I don't know, nowadays it just feels, something just doesn't feel right, if it makes sense. And obviously I might be a little bit young to understand what it specifically is, and maybe I can't really find the right words to kind of describe what I'm experiencing, but it's crazy the way the world, or the universe in that sense, is kind of unfolding to myself, and the way it is unfolding isn't the way I kind of expect it to be. And obviously I'm trying everything within my own personal power to manifest a life for myself which is deemed the most favorable for me. And I hope that in terms of the mediocre or the general person, that they are able to manifest a life for them which is obviously desirable for them as well. And I don't know, I want the elders to explain to me what it is that we, the young people, are perhaps doing wrong. And maybe, like, from your experience, what are some of the things that we should at least watch out for, or perhaps be a bit more careful for? Thank you very much.